Welcome, one and all, to Paranormal Perplexities. On today's episode, we take a look at the story of Dear David. The story of Dear David began on Monday, August 7th, 2017, with the post from Adam Ellis, a cartoonist. Let's read on. So, my apartment is currently being haunted by the ghost of a dead child, and he's trying to kill me. He started appearing in my dreams, but I think he's crossed over into the real world now. The first time I saw him, I was experiencing sleep paralysis, and saw a child sitting in the green rocking chair at the foot of my bed. He had a huge misshapen head that was dented on one side. I did my best to draw it. For a while, he just stared at me, but then he got out of the chair and started shambling toward my bed. I couldn't move because I was paralyzed. I have sleep paralysis very often. It sucks. Right before he reached my bed, I woke up screaming. I had another dream a few nights earlier, where I was in a library, and a girl came up to me and said, "You've seen Dear David, haven't you?" I was like, "Who?" And she said, "Dear David, you saw him." She continued, "He's dead. He only appears at midnight, and you can ask him 2 questions if you said Dear David first." She then added, "But never try to ask him a 3rd question, or he'll kill you." I was very shaken. Having 2 dreams about the same thing is pretty weird. Anyway, a couple weeks passed without incident. Then, David came back in another dream. Same situation. I was in bed, and he was sitting in the rocking chair near the window, staring at me. In the dream, I say, "Dear David, how did you die?" He mumbles, "An accident in a store." I say, "Dear David, what happened in the store?" He groans. "A shelf was pushed on my head." I'm frozen with fear. I ask, "Who pushed the shelf?" David doesn't answer. I realize I've asked a 3rd question, which I'm not supposed to do. At that point, I wake up, absolutely terrified. The next couple nights, I googled deaths in the city, but can't find anything about a kid named David dying in a store. I even tried different names: Daniel, Dylan, Devin. Nothing. A few weeks go by without incident. Sort of randomly, the apartment above mine is vacated, and I have the opportunity to move into it. It's a larger apartment, so I'm thrilled. After a month or 2 goes by, and I sort of forget about Dear David. I think he lost track of me because I moved upstairs. But lately, something strange is happening. For the past 4 nights, my cats gather at the front door at exactly midnight. Just stare at it. Most like something is on the other side. Last night, I got a weird feeling and looked out the peephole, and I'm dead certain I saw movement on the other side. When I opened the door and turned on the light hall, nothing was there, but my cat seemed unnerved, bushy tails, etc. And that's where I am now. Dear David found me, I think. I don't know what to do. I'll keep you updated. Wednesday, August 9th, 2017. Update. For the 6th night in a row, my cat has walked over to the door promptly at midnight and stared at it. What is going on? Okay, so I took a photo through the peephole because I'm too scared to open the door. I feel like I saw something. I couldn't tell, so I mustered the courage to open the door. Nothing was out there. But I took another photo. Look at this. Is it just me, or is there something in the first photo, right where the banister meets the shelves, hiding on the stairs? I wasn't sure if it was a smudge or something, so I took a second photo from the inside. There was something out there. I deadbolted the lock and got in bed, because I don't know what else to do. I can still hear my cat meowing at the door. I am pretty scared. Thursday, August 10th, 2017. It's been pretty quiet tonight. I'm gonna try out a sleep talk app to see if anything happens during the night. I'm heading to bed, but the cats are back at the door, and only do this in the middle of the night. It's routine now. The next night, and here we go, just minutes before midnight. They're both there now. I don't even know if this is the right kind of salt. Maxwell was extra talkative tonight. He's obviously trying to tell me something. Friday, August 11th, 2017. I used a sound app to record my apartment last night. It takes individual recordings each time it hears something. There were 33 recordings. Most of them are pretty vague. A couple of them are passing cars and the like. But there are 3 that I'm interested in. The first is a snapping sound in what seems like a single step. It's odd, because I didn't get out of bed all night. This one is weird because out of 33 recordings, this is the only one that has that strange electric sound throughout. This directly follows the electric static. Another snap, then I groan in my sleep. These happen between 2 to 3 a.m. I have no explanation for them. I keep recording and share if I find anything curious. Saturday, August 12th, 2017. Getting the F out of my haunted apartment for the weekend. I have no explanation for this. Monday, August 14th, 2017. So a weird thing just happened. Take it with a grain of salt. I bought a Polaroid camera this weekend because they're fun and dorky. I decided to take a few photos around my apartment. Polaroids are stupid and fun and inherently sort of creepy. I didn't expect to find anything, and for the most part I didn't. I took a couple of my living room and bedroom. That's the rocking chair I first saw David in. They're pretty unremarkable. Then I went into the hallway and snapped a photo. The Polaroid developed completely black. I even ripped open and destroyed a fresh pack to see if it was just an undeveloped Polaroid. But they all start out white. I also thought maybe I accidentally covered the lens with my finger, so I took a photo while intentionally covering it. The photo on the left is me covering the lens with my finger. The one on the right is my fully lit hallway, taken just after midnight. So this could be nothing. I'm not sure what to make of it. Okay, one last thing, because I wanted to double check. Here's a couple videos of me taking photos.
Okay, here's my living room. that there.
And then the hallway.
Okay, now I'm gonna take a photo of the hallway just to show you what that's like. And as you can see, the first one has already developed. So let's see what this one does. It's gonna take a minute. But it is developing black. So I don't know.
It came out totally black again, for a second time. I honestly don't know why I'm still fucking around with this camera. There might be a logical explanation. Someone told me to take photos from further away, so I tried that. Once with my phone, and once with the Polaroid. Left is with my phone, right is with the Polaroid. The hall light was on both times. Why is it pitch black each time with the Polaroid? This whole thread has been really convoluted, and I'm sorry if it's hard to follow. I just thought it was weird and wanted to share. The next day. Folks have been urging me to get some sage, so I did. Saging the hall and definitely saging the hell out of this rocking chair. Honestly, sage doesn't seem like it helped much, but I'm open to anything. I barely slept last night. I kept waking up feeling like something was wrong, but who knows? Maybe this will do something. The morning after. Sage did not work. I haven't dreamed about David in a few months, but he appeared again last night. In the dream, my bedroom was filled with hazy smoke, but I could see David sitting in a chair across the room. He was smaller this time, almost shrunken. He didn't do or say anything except look at me. Anyway, it feels like a bad omen. Apparently, strange faces have been showing up in some of the photos I take. A couple people have pointed this out, which I don't have an explanation for. There's also this, which seems less weird, but still odd that resembles David. Make of it what you will. The second one doesn't alarm me so much, since it seems like it might be a reflection, but that first one gives me the creeps. It's been 2 weeks and he still does this every night at midnight. Other weird stuff has been happening too. I've been recording myself sleeping and it picks up this weird static electricity sound every night at 3 a.m. It lasts about 5 minutes. This morning I woke up to the whole house shaking. It felt like a small earthquake. I debated even mentioning that on Twitter, because it sounds made up, but I distinctly felt the house swaying. Just a whole bunch of small things happen at once. I feel so uneasy, like right before a thunderstorm comes. Everyone is telling me to move, but I don't have any guarantee that this won't follow me. They just issued a thunderstorm warning for tonight. Everyone in this city is talking about how weird the sky looks. I can hear rolling thunder in the distance. All this ghost stuff has been spooky, but this past weekend was the first time I actually felt unsafe in my home. On Friday night, there was supposed to be a huge storm. In the end, it passed, but that night was bizarre anyway. I fell asleep pretty early. I was incredibly tired for some reason. I had a dream that night where David was dragging me by the arm through an old abandoned warehouse. I'm not sure why I didn't fight back in the dream or how he was strong enough to pull me, but that's dream logic for you. It was a creepy dream, but I didn't think much of it. When I woke up, I took a shower, and then I noticed something. I'd woken up with a huge bruise on my arm. Now look, maybe I injured myself the day before, and my arm was hurting during the night, which manifested a dream. There could be a totally logical explanation for it, so I brushed it off. I went to get coffee, which I do every weekend. When I walked to the coffee place, I always pass a food cart repair depot. It's always incredibly busy, especially on weekends. I've lived in the neighborhood for over 4 years, and the place has always been jam-packed, with carts getting serviced. But today, it was completely abandoned. The whole warehouse was totally gutted and empty. Well, almost empty. I went inside to look around because I was astonished that this place was suddenly empty after all these years. Basically, the only thing in the entire warehouse was a single green chair. If you recall, David first appeared in my green rocking chair. It could be nothing, but it's weird that it was the only thing left behind. On my way back from coffee, the warehouse had been shuttered. It's remained shuttered since. The chair, my bruise, dreaming about an empty warehouse and then passing by one. It gives me the creeps. Needless to say, I didn't sleep much that night. Too many strange things are happening, and more frequently. So, I don't know. Anyway, it was a strange weekend. That was the story of Dear David so far. It appears that the Twitter feed gets updated constantly. When there's a new story about Dear David, I will make a new video to keep you informed. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. I will see you in the next one. Peace.